Behold, today I'm breaking and blowing your minds by creating impossible 3D prints. Yo, what does that even mean? It's simple. I'm printing magic tricks, like this one called the money printer, which transforms a piece of paper into a real dollar, or a finger guillotine, which will make your head turn, and even a magic sword that unveils itself as you lift it. There's a ton of sick 3D prints to cover, but to start, imagine having a box that makes things disappear. What you see in front of you are 4 pieces that make up the bicycle vanishing box, which I printed out of a galaxy kind of color, and I love the details on the front. It's kind of like a box for a deck of cards. But just like most of the prints in this video, everything is really easy to put together. I mean, in 3 steps, this entire thing is done, which makes you wonder, how does this even do magic if it's so simple? It opens, closes. I mean, what else am I gonna expect here? So to give it a test, I brought out the M&Ms, and I really want to see how easy this trick is. Supposedly, you load it up, lock it, and when you open it back up, it's gone. Now apparently it should vanish. What? Wait, yo, that's it? Now reappear? Oh, I think if you showed this to a grown-ass man, they'd still be impressed. And if you shake the box, you can still hear the stuff inside, which makes you wonder how it works in the first place. Now, what you didn't realize is while this box was moving, I moved a lever at the top, because when you move it, it shifts the bins inside the box. If you remember when we assembled it, the box came with 2 drawers. So to put it really simple, you slide the top and it drags a different bin. That's so genius. These next 3D prints are kind of like pranks, but the theme is fake injuries and not just regular ones. Like this one, where it looks like a pencil's going straight through my finger. Dude, how does that even work? Oh. There's a clip. Yeah, let's be honest, this is such a meme, but I think the coolest part about this print is how real the pencil looks. At a first glance, I don't think anyone's gonna question it, which is why for a silly little magic trick, I think it works perfect. But if you work in construction or something, I 3D printed one for you too. This is literally the same thing, but as a drill bit. Yo, I'm not even kidding. You could probably get somebody to lose their mind if they saw this. Be careful who you prank, guys. Next. All right, this next one is one of the most classic magic tricks, and it involves breaking a pencil? Yeah, who knows? All in all, once printed, it's 10 pieces, which as of right now, that's the largest print for the whole video. The first step is to build up the box, then snap everything in, load up the magic inside, and once those top pieces are laid over, we're ready. Gosh, I love this color scheme. I don't really know what any of these symbols mean, but it is a cool look. But as for the function, let me blow that mind back. This right here is a solid tube of plastic. And as you can see on the side of the box, there's a hole that you can fit it into. But once all that is done, just look. Excuse me? Hold up, rewind. We have a stick. It's made of plastic. We insert it in the hole and split the box. Okay, now we take it out? Oh, what the? Yeah, if you pulled up to the 1700s with this, they're gonna kill you. Ain't no way I just split something apart and then put it back together that fast. Which is right, I didn't. Once you slide the rod in there and then break it apart, the rod gets pushed towards the middle while the 3 fake pieces get pushed up and down. That way, when you slide it back, the real piece comes back into the middle. No breaks and no cuts. All right, if you have a 3D printer, you know you can print some literally illegal things. But imagine if you could illegally print money, but not the way you might think. This might sound too good to be true, but using these 5 parts, some tape, and a long strip of paper, now we can get constructing. But like, bro, what do these even have in common? First up, take this cage, slot 1 roll in there, cap it off, then slot the other one, and that should work for the base model. Afterwards, whip out that paper, take a piece of tape and put it on the top part, then stick it to the machine and roll it all the way through. Then, using tape, stick it to the other roller and twist it in that direction too. And believe it or not, we're actually done. One thing I see in common with this and all the other prints is the fact that the tricks are so easy to make, but have very subtle things that make them work. However, to get this one going, all we need is a piece of paper. And now supposedly all we gotta do is put it in the back of the machine and roll it forward. What the? Wait, that was smooth. What world are we living in? And this ain't Monopoly money, bruh. This is real. And I haven't even shown you guys the coolest part. Because if you put the money back in the printer, it slowly turns back into paper. Yeah, the money is just gone now. I guess we just found the infinite money glitch, boys. We don't gotta worry about nothing. But for real, I'm gonna try to explain how this works the best way I can, because there's no way this is legit. So basically, the way the paper is rolled up into this machine, it hides whatever you put into it and spits out the other thing. So whenever I put one of these in there, it'll spit out this. Whenever I put one of these in there, it'll spit out this. Y'all want to see something scary? Let me show you the finger guillotine. Yeah, you heard me right, a guillotine, which is literally a machine that cuts people's heads off. But this one is for your finger. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna cut my finger off. Instead, once we put together all of these pieces that we printed, it creates a magic trick that makes it look like my finger's gonna get cut off. All in all, there's two pieces, both with holes in the middle. And when you slot them together, the trick is ready to be performed. Now, obviously, it looks pretty simple. And if I stick my finger in there, it doesn't look like it'll do anything. Keep in mind, both pieces that slot together are hard plastic. It's not gonna move. But it does anyways. What the? My finger's all right, guys. It turns out that it has a sliding mechanism. Yo, to be honest, while editing this doesn't look that impressive. I mean, it's kind of a cool party trick. But if you think this is cool, let me know in the comments. I might be sleeping on it. All right, these next prints are way more complicated, so I had to get something to help me. I 3D printed a magician's wand. Even though this isn't a trick or doesn't do anything special, come on, for the theme of this video, it makes sense. Let me play with my toys, bruh. And by using this wand, let me create a 3D print that floats? Now, besides just showing you magic tricks, there are some 3D prints that actually look impossible. So I wanted to focus on those as well. As you can see, once we finish removing all the supports, we have a plate. Then there's this giant mug, and lastly, this weird, mysterious brown liquid, which after using some super glue to kind of bring it all together, yeah, I know, that's like the most ratchet way you can assemble something. We're pretty much done. All that's left to do is to slide the plate over, set the rest of it on top, and yeah, this looks like a work of art. If you want to make someone's head turn, this is the print to do it. And my favorite part is that if you make it look like you're pouring something out, you could just leave the cup in midair after. Magic. Okay, now if you want to see how precise these 3D printers are, take a look at this next one. Bop. Apparently, there's a special class of 3D prints that stretch long strands of plastic and create an object in the middle. And what you're left with is something like a floating hand. Now, the reason I even put this in the video is because if you take a look at how thin these strands of plastic are, it almost looks like hair. And keep in mind, my 3D printer printed this hand dangling in between all that. I tried banging it on the table and it didn't really do much. However, if you lightly touch the inside just a little bit, all bets are off. There's no way there's that much jiggle without it being breakable. So the fact that a 3D printer can even do this in your own home is crazy to me. But if you want to see another 3D print that's technically floating, then this next one is also crazy. The official name for what we're about to build is called the Tensegrity table. And if that sounds familiar to you, it definitely is. I've seen people make these out of wood, Lego, other crafting materials, you name it. But that speaks to how popular it is. As you can see on the table, there's a bunch of chains. And in order to build this trick, we have to put 5 groups of chains together until it looks something like this. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that the ends of the chains have screws, which if you remember the white pieces from earlier, everything perfectly fits together. Yo, on the real, I don't even print certain screws or nuts and bolts anymore. I 3D print them. I realized how strong plastic screws are. Now, since we got everything screwed in on the bottom part, I 3D printed the top, and now using this last little micro chain, we screw it into the top so it looks like it's dangling, and connect it to the other side. It's starting to work. Now, obviously it didn't work that well on the first try, but after like 5 minutes, I think I cooked up. Let me explain the name to you guys. Tensegrity table is just a fancy way of saying tensional integrity. These chains we set up act like wires and kind of hold it together. And what makes it seem impossible is the fact that usually chains don't hold things up. Do they not just dangle? How does gravity work on this? And for those of you that still don't understand, comment down below and you know some nerdy guy's gonna comment back. Next. So obviously we have the magician's wand, magic tricks, but what's something else a wizard always carries? A sword. After about 6 hours of printing, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was the longest 6 hours of my life. This thing looks awesome. But you may be asking, this only looks like a handle. Where's the rest of the sword? Let me tell you, all you gotta do is grip and lift. That is crazy. Oh! You know I had to get magical with it. Come on now. Now, if you've ever seen those toy lightsabers from the store that when you whip out, they get longer, this is like that, but all you gotta do is pick it up from the table. And as for the design, I'm literally drooling here. Damn, why is it built so intricately? I do like to fidget with it though. This is one of those prints that's immediately a flex. So if you wanna blow people's minds, lift this sword from a table and see what they think. This next one kind of reminds me of Lord of the Rings or something like that, but it's called Ring Slice. So just like the name entails, the first piece we get is this golden ring. But just you wait, because I'm about to perform some crazy stuff on it, because this is one of the most complex tricks in the entire video. What even is all this? Without further ado, let's get moving here. Step 1, tape this spring into place. Start bouncing it. Step 2, attach this jiggly piece. Step 3, insert a clip. Step 4, slide the base in. Step 5, lock it in place. And lastly, get ready to hold the shell and the sword. Yay, we're done! But I am a little scared because I want to make sure this trick looks flawless. Printing and building is one thing, but can I make it look like it's magic? Alright, let me get my magic voice going. Take a look at this magic ring and watch me insert it in the machine. Now, using the hard shell, let me place that on top, slide in the dangerous sword, and with one quick slice, the sword has pierced the ring. I don't even care if that was a corny ass trick. And the way it works is kind of cool. So basically, before I put the sword in, the spring is loaded. And then when this top goes on, it launches the ring to the top piece. So that I'm actually putting the sword through this, not the bottom. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If not, GG's, I don't even know. Call him magic, bro. Now, if you've ever been to a magic show, then this next print is a very popular trick. It's called knife box. See this dude right here? This man is a convicted criminal, and because of his crimes, he's gotta be tortured. Sorry, broski, I don't make the rules. Oh God. Now, if you haven't noticed already, this build is super complicated, but I'll try to run through it pretty quick. Take this spring piece and put it into the backboard, then take our outline of the dummy and do that as well. And it looks like everything works pretty smooth. Then to continue, we take this nub and slide it into here, placing the cover on top to make sure everything's flush. Now, this lock piece you see in front of you is really important, but we'll move on to that later. In the meantime, this print actually has a cover like a book, so I went ahead and attached that. And honestly, I think we're good. Here's the box of torture. And if you'll notice, there's a ton of holes that you can put stuff in, which makes you think, if we're gonna make bro pay for his sins the right way, we gotta 3D print some swords. Dude, this section of the video is horrible, bro. Okay, but morals aside, let's demonstrate the trick. Once you remove this lock and open up the book, you'll see there's a slot for our victim. Now, Aiden here, yes, I named him, can sit inside of it nice and snug so that once we close it, he's locked in place. All right, now remember, Aiden is made of solid plastic, and so are the swords. So theoretically, these knives shouldn't go through the box, but they do. Shoot. And a weird part about this is how many swords you can stick through, bro. But like, somehow they're not even bent when I put them through the box. And the even crazier part is, when you open up to see bro's dead body, he hasn't even been touched. It's as if nothing happened. Yeah, he's completely solid. This thing is bizarre too, because when you put him in the box, you can't really move him around anyways. But, like everything in this video, there's always one piece of the puzzle that makes all the difference. And once you take out all the swords, believe it or not, it's pretty simple. The answer is in the lock. Remember when I told you guys this piece was important? Yeah, when you inject it into that corner, the entire backplate shifts, completely rearranging the dummy. So when you put him back into the box and hit that lock, yeah, you see what I mean? Let's go. I'm so happy this was the final trick because I genuinely think it's so cool. But I guess the saddest part about this trick is our boy never got the punishment he deserves. Alright guys, smash like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what your favorite trick was, and God bless y'all. Peace!